Let's bring in Ed Jovanovski, former NHL player, doing Panther TV for Bailey Sports. Jovo, how are you, pal?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Okay. Just game one in the best of 7, but people are talking about a must-win situation for the Florida Panthers at home. Agree?
I would say so. I think anytime you don't want to be heading into, in this case, Tampa's building being down 0-2 with obviously with even more so momentum going in their favor. So you definitely want to find a way tonight to even up the series.
Jova, what did you think went wrong in the first game? Just, to my eye, I thought that Florida didn't take particular care with the puck. They like to take some chances. Well, what was it that stood out for you that set them on the wrong course?
Well, I think once again, a little bit on the perimeter. I think this team is so effective when they are skating. Sorry, my dog's barking.
That's okay. We've had Gord Stellick at a dog pound once. You're fine.
Just through the neutral zone, this team is so effective when they're moving their feet and getting these rushes off, chances off the rush. And I think, this playoffs, and it's even last game, but more so even the Washington series, they had a difficult time doing that. And, I think when you look at it, when they were up 1-0, they had a brief 5-on-3, didn't get a sniff. And, trying to force things, through the box, Huberdeau a couple times, kind of breaking his stick on the bench, really frustrated. So, now at 0 for 21, you're not going to get through Tampa, having this lackluster power play that's gone 0 for, and your penalty kill was 50% last game. So, you kind of mixed everything together. I think there's in every area this team knows there that can be better. Having said that, I think 5-on-5, they were decent, but when your power play is not working and your penalty kill's not clicking, you got to find ways elsewhere to kind of pick it up.
I know it's early in this series, but is there a less edge than we saw last year in terms of the physicality? And would that play better for Florida, or would they have to ramp that up a little bit more and make this a little bit more personal or ugly against Tampa Bay Lightning?
Well, you might have to, and what you've seen throughout Florida, watching them, this year, they can play any which way you want. I mean, they have the bodies. I think Marchman is a big loss for this team right now. I think he's a guy that really gets in on the forecheck, disturbs the play down low. But they do have Lomberg. They have guys that get in on the rush, Bennett as well. So they can play that way, but I think this team, if it's not going that way, I think they're going to stay away from that and try to win the game with their speed. But I think they have to, from the get-go tonight, I think establish their identity, very quick and try to maintain that through 60 or so minutes.
You mentioned that power play of theirs that's struggling so much. What's going on there that's like not working? Do they often run 5 forwards out there? I feel like they did that for a while and maybe went away from that in the first game.
Well, they were kind of going back and forth, and I think what we during the first game, they were on the perimeter on the half boards, Huberdeau, and they always go to that low play or they kind of try to go through the seam. Well, Tampa does such a good job with their sticks and body positioning that nothing was even remotely getting through. They would bounce it out back top to Ekblad. He was getting his shots blocked, and they weren't even grabbing momentum off the power play. They're actually feeding Tampa's momentum. And then towards the end of the game, when they needed a goal, they went to the 5 forwards, and they snap it around good. They weren't generating much, and it's kind of mind-boggling because you look at the talent that's out there. Not to create anything from it has kind of been puzzling, but they have to find it, tonight, throughout this series, because I don't think they're going to go 0 for this series and then find a way to win it.
And Jova, what is it with Kucherov and his love to just light up the Florida Panthers? Because we're watching him against Toronto, and you're like, yeah, I thought he was better than that. And now you watch him in game one, and it's like, oh my God, Ekblad, that poor guy, he's like still looking for his jock strap.
Right, and you know what? And I got a few text messages came through. Boy, Kucherov came to play. Yeah, I mean sometimes when you give these star players time and space, they embarrass you. And I think for one of the probably the messages that you have to kind of relate to your team, I'm sure Bruno's done that, is, you know, every opportunity you can, you know, to give him a whack or just kind of stay close to him. And, you know, you have to, because you give this guy speed like he had through there, and, you know, Ekblad kind of leading. We've all been there before, right? You know, leaning one way and he kind of goes the other way, you know, on you. And, you know, but yeah, certainly he's a guy that was really dangerous on the half board. That shot he let go. He was in the play a lot, and it almost seems like he almost makes the decision kind of before the game. Do I want to show up or do I don't?
Right.
You know, it's kind of, I saw him, you know, throughout the year at times, and you know, he's there, you know, not too engaged, not too involved, but, you know, watching him last game, boy, they better be aware of him tonight.
You know, if Florida was in Toronto and the top guys were not producing, it would be a major talking point. I don't know how you feel about the play of the top guys, Huberdeau and Barkov, so far. I don't believe they have a pile of points so far. Have they been effective at least so far in the postseason?
Well, I think towards the end of the Washington series, you saw a little bit more of Barkey. Mm-hmm. You know, listen, I played with both of these guys. They're my buddies. I've said it on a lot of outlets that you need more out of Huberdeau, plain and simple. I mean, he's had a tremendous year, and this team is only going to go as far as this guy goes. Verhaeghe kind of carried the load in round one, and these guys need to kind of step up their game. And they know it, and they expect it. It's no secret, you know, what they need to do. You just got to work a little harder and get in those areas where they're tough, and they're capable of doing it. They've embarrassed defensemen on a nightly basis. And, you know, now that the playoffs are here, it's a little tighter checking. You have to work that much more for your space. But they certainly have the ability to do that, and they're relied on. And I think a lot of those tough questions are not really asked in this market. But, you know, people that are kind of around knowing, you know, the game more, they're just, you know, they're kind of asking that question. But the good thing about it is I think the players they know they got more, and I'm hearing that out of their mouths as well.